and welcome again to Avitar Face to Face. I'm your host, Kinch-Thomas, and it is such a pleasure to have you with us today. We love to keep you informed of all of the arts and culture events and hopefully inspire you to go out and experience some of that arts and culture in Westchester and beyond. So we want to welcome to the show today an extraordinary vocalist. I saw this young woman in Detroit at the Jazz Festival, and we were blown away. So we want to bring her to you today and learn a little bit more about her journey. Welcome to the show, please, Miche Braden.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Oh, Miche, it is so good to have you here.
Ah, glad to finally be here, yes.
Indeed. And when I say that you blew us away when we were in Detroit last year, you have a powerhouse of a voice.
Well, thank you.
Where did that come from?
I am the first grandchild of a very musical family. My mother was a musician.
Okay.
My father directed the choir. My uncle sang in the choir. My grandmother sang in the choir. I have an uncle who's in my play who plays bass.
Okay.
When I was growing up, all of the jazz musicians out of Detroit used to come to the house. And I was raised around that, so I think I just got it natural.
Okay. So it's DNA, and then it's the environment that you grew up in that nurtured and supported and just made that happen.
Yes.
Fantastic. So in Detroit, you are from Detroit originally.
I am.
Okay. So what was that like, having all of those musicians coming around? Who were some of the folks that were wandering through those doors?
Some of the most amazing musicians in the world come from Detroit.
Yes.
There are the Motown musicians who were my daddies.
Right.
Beans Bowes, Uriel Jones, and Earl Van Dyke, the leader of the Funk Brothers.
Right.
Then there was Harold McKinney, who was a master jazz composer, who I worked with, and Marcus Belgrave, who is still with us, a trumpeter extraordinaire.
Right.
I grew up with all of these cats, just about everything. And then my mother was in the church music world, and the Brazil Denards, and the big churches, Hartford Baptist, Greater Grace, St. James, all of these churches, all the music that was going on. And then, of course, then there was Motown.
Right.
My god sister was with the Andantes, which was the background group.
Yes.
So it was just a university. I say I got my doctorate on the street working with them.
Sure
all
enough.
of these cats.
Oh, that is fantastic. So when did you know then that was going to be your life's path?
When I was born.
When you, okay, all right, well.
Actually, my mother prayed for a musical child, because she would play for my grandmother. My grandmother was a very beautiful contralto, and she was singing all the big events, the classic, semi-classic, spirituals. And when she got pregnant with me, because I was the first, she said she wanted me to love music the way she did.
Yes.
And it definitely stuck.
Okay.
So she said I'd perform in the middle of the grocery store, throwing tantrums, or singing or dancing or something. I'd do plays in the backyard, put a blanket over the swing set, know, and then when it was time to do the show, we'd pull it off. I've been doing it all my life.
You made your stage wherever it needed to be, and wherever wherever the Spirit moved you. Yes. Well, I'll just say, if you feel so moved today, you just say the word, and we'll just step back and let you do what you do so well. So then, when did you start professionally singing?
It's kind of odd, because I started early just singing in different functions. I would sing with bands. I danced with a dance company in Detroit, Clifford Fears Dance Theater. And then I became the musical director of the dance company. Then I started doing scores for plays, and Ron Milner's play, The Rhythm and the Blues, came out the same time as Dreamgirls, so we couldn't push it any time because it was the same type of thing.
Right.
But I would say my early 20s. And then I went away for a while when I got married, because that wasn't working with the entertaining.
Right.
And then when I got out of that, I went back into it full time. So from my early 20s on.
Okay, fantastic. And when you initially started, was it really the focus on the music, on the jazz and the blues, or how did that?
It started with R&B.
Okay.
As a matter of fact, I just remember I had a singing group from elementary school through high school.
All right.
And we used to pattern ourselves after the girl groups and the boy groups because we used to like the routines. And then we started patterning ourselves after friends of distinction.
Okay, I remember.
Had 2 females, 2 males. We would sing those beautiful songs.
Wow.
And it started with the music. It didn't matter what kind. It just was music.
Right.
And then we went from there. I went from there into theater.
Okay. Into theater. So you had a notion that the acting was going to be a part of that journey too.
Well, I always was an actor to a degree, but what happened is I had gotten really popular in Detroit, and they were getting ready to start doing all these musical plays. 1940s Radio Hour is one of the first, after I did the rhythm and the blues, Ron Milner's, and they just said, well, she plays piano, she could sing, let's bring her in. The next thing I know, I was doing more and more theater with the Attic Theater, the Detroit Repertory Theater, and the last one I did was Lady Day at Emerson's Bar and Grill, which is what moved me to New York.
Okay, all right. So you've done, in terms of acting, portrayed some of the best in the music. So you mentioned Lady Day, Billie Holiday, Ma Rainey. Yes, and of course we're going to talk a little bit more into the program about Bessie Smith.
Yes.
Okay, so when you are in that mode, and when you're in the actress mode, and you're portraying these icons, these legends, what is it that you want to bring to the audience?
The life of the artist is what fueled the music. I would always study the artists and what they were like when they were younger to their adult time, if they had relationships, and try to kind of link the songs that were being done at those times that they recorded to that time, and try to live it as they did. You know, a lot of times Billie Holiday used to say if she hadn't lived the song, the subject matter of the song, she couldn't sing it. So I wanted to do that, and it's also fueled my own music to be able to put myself totally into what I do when I'm singing or performing.
Right. And what have some of the responses been from, I mean, because you've been doing these for what, close to 2 decades now, or more?
Or more.
Okay. And what do you feel, what do people say to you when you...
I remember one particular question answered, and people would get up and say, I saw you in 1952, and then I saw you, you know, and then you signed my... I said, wow. Did it get to that point? So people are believing, because it says acting is believing. So they are believing that I am that character. Now, I don't particularly try to necessarily sing like them. I do try to get the inflection, but I'm doing what it is I guess I'm supposed to do, is help the people take themselves into this fantasy world where they actually feel that they're feeling and seeing this particular artist.
Okay. And why is it important for you? I mean, because as an actress and as a vocalist, there's just an enormous range of work that you could do. Why is it important for you to give the significance and the focus to these ladies?
Well, it seems because of the fact that my history is in the jazz and the blues and the music, it seems like their spirits call me. I mean, it seems kind of crazy, but it seems, okay, please come tell my story, you know, and the history of music has to stay alive. If we don't put it out there in whatever way it needs to be done, it's going to die. And I want the people to know the music. So I do play them. I want to play myself. I do different things where I can do my music and things. But when it comes to the history, if you don't know where you come from, you don't know where you're going. Okay.
That's the truth. That is the absolute truth. So have you taken these works overseas? And are the audiences, do they receive them differently?
I haven't gone overseas with these shows yet. It's always in the works. People are always interested. But there's a lot that has to do with the unions and the country and bringing in work, and you got to be able to take something over here. So I haven't done that yet. I'm not putting it that we're not ever going to do it. But the reaction most of the theater goers, I have to say, are mostly white, Caucasian, or just jazz lovers.
Right.
There is definitely a difference than if I was to have, say, basically an all-black audience, like with Bessie.
Right.
People think they're in church, and they're hollering back, and it's just a whole big party scene.
Okay.
And then there are those that listen. They want to hear the story. You know, they don't necessarily want to get involved with it. But it just varies. You know, every audience is different, which makes the show different every night, which makes it fresh every night, because you never know what you're going to get.
What that communication is going to be, what the interaction is going to be.
Yes.
That's wonderful. You know, I mean, since we are in this place right now, I think it would be great for us to show the clip of you in the Bessie Smith role. Now, before we do that, tell us a little bit about how that came about.
Joe Brancato, who has a theater in Stony Point in Rockland County, it's called The Penguin, which has been in existence over 30-something years. I met him through Laney Robertson that wrote Lady Day.
Okay.
And we loved working together so much that he said, I got to do something else with you. He said, what do you want to do? I said, I want to play Bessie Smith.
All right.
I thought that would be so much fun. So he got a writer, Angelo Pera, who also lives in the Rockland County area.
Okay.
And we met for 2 years and brainstormed about what it was going to be about.
Right.
And we started at his theater in Penguin, and it's just been going ever since.
Right.
It's almost 13 years.
I was just going to say, it's been more than a decade since you have been doing this particular production.
Yes.
Okay. And have you seen a movement in any particular direction with it, or how has it transitioned for you during that time?
I know I felt that I was terrible when I first started doing the show. It was
how is that even possible?
Oh, it is. No. You know, because then I'm trying to be the best, and I'm trying to maybe overdoing or something. But every time we do the show, and we've done it multiple times, we tweak something else.
Okay.
It may be the music we change, or the arrangement, or just the approach to a particular part.
Okay.
Different things happen with this, and it has just grown by leaps and bounds.
Okay. So let's take a look at this clip. This is, give us the full title of the piece.
The Devil's Music, The Life and Blues of Bessie Smith.
Let's see. Okay. Yes. Oh, that takes me back. We saw it in Detroit. I'm telling you, it's just a fabulous production.
Thank you.
Really is. And you are you're compelling. Your talent is just through the roof. So it makes an evening of theater and music that is just something that we should all become a part of. We should all experience. What is the devil's music? Why that title? Tell us.
The blues was called the devil's music back in the time when it was really popular. It was so close to gospel, or the beginning of gospel. But if it wasn't church, for the folks that were church people, it was the devil's music.
Okay.
So that was just the way it was called.
Okay. And what do the blues mean for you? You've been incorporating and just it when we watch you, it feels like it's coming from your soul and up through your gut and then just into this beautiful voice.
Well, thank you. You know, blues has many different meanings. A lot of people think it's sad. You know, when you have the blues, you know, and you're sad. But blues also like the Red Foxes and the Slappy Whites doing that kind of blue humor that they used to do. So it was, I don't know exactly where blue came from out of it, but it's just, it is that soul.
Yeah.
It is, I think if the soul had a color, it might be blue. Because it's, you know, it's nice calming, but then not totally calming. It has this color of the sky. It's also, you know, just the color of water. It's just so many different things that are so grounded. You know, so maybe blues is being grounded.
Okay. Is that why you think that it connects so well that people, when they hear it, when they listen to it, it just resonates with them? You know?
I think so. Because a lot of times, if you take like the 12-bar blues, it is basically written like a joke. Like maybe the old vaudeville stars, you know, why did the chicken cross the road? I said, why did the chicken cross the road? To get to the other side. The punchline is always the third line. So it's something that kind of reaches in, makes you laugh a little bit. You know, it's a jokester type of music to a degree. But it just hits you.
It does. It does.
Yes.
Because it's the highs, it's the lows, it's everything in between, and we can all, in some way or form or fashion, you know, connect with that.
Yes.
Because we've been there. We've been at those points, whether it's high or low, the valley or otherwise.
Yes.
So, yeah, I can understand that. You've won many awards.
I've been nominated for quite a bit.
And nominated Connecticut Critics Circle, the Carbonell Award, so many others for this work. Where do you see this particular production going?
I'm praying that once I get tired of doing it, which probably will be never, that we able to spread it out across the country and across the world so that other actors can get a chance to do it. That is always a dream, you know, to be able to get it out there. I would just love to eventually maybe see a movie. Of course, I want to do it.
That's
now.
right.
I got to do that. You know?
I don't think anybody else that I can think of could do it the way that you could do it. So yes, you have my vote for being the star of that movie.
All right, thank you.
Absolutely. So now we also should mention, because this program goes so quickly and there's so much, I find, to the artists that sit in that chair in terms of their journey. You're an actress, you're a singer, you're a musical director, you're an educator, you're a composer also, and an arranger. Is there anything out of all of those that gives you the greatest satisfaction?
It's a combination of it all. But when I sing, it's like it's all of me.
Yes.
Singing is just my heart and soul. And I feel that that is the voice of the soul. You know, if it's blues, if it's jazz, if it's classic, I love arranging voices. You know, like with my church choir at Unity Fellowship Church Newark. I just love the singing voice. I just love that feeling. You know, and it melded so well with the acting because you have to let people feel what the words are talking about. It's not just a place for you to do vocal acrobatics on and do so many riffs that you don't ever hear the words, you know.
Because that's the message.
Yes.
Not only the audio or hearing.
Yes.
You know, the melody and the harmonies and everything else that goes into that, and that's what makes it the universal language. But that message through the lyrics also is the important, I think.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah, that's so wonderful. So you mentioned your church.
Yes.
And you're the musical director at your church.
Minister of Music.
Minister of Music. and is that something that you, even if when you're traveling, you're still partake in your services, and you're directing your choir, and how does that fit into your entertainment life?
Well, I know a lot of people would disagree, but it is all entertainment.
Okay.
It's performance art to a high degree. You know, it may have a particular purpose and praising,
yes,
but it is still entertainment. So I bring what I do in the clubs and in the theater into the church. I have a creative arts ministry that has poets, dancers, visual artists,
yes,
designers, and you just name it. You know, because all of that is creating, which
yes,
is from the word create and creator.
Creator.
So all of that has to be a part. You know, I have an amazing pastor, Kevin E. Taylor, and we have two, but he was a producer with BET.
Okay.
He did a lot of interviews with people like Natalie Cole, Patti LaBelle. He was with Aaliyah in the Bahamas when they were doing, he was supposed to be on that plane.
Wow.
You know, so I mean,
wow,
but the music that is in him and the art and everything, we meld so well as far as doing service. You know, it's almost like a show every Sunday. Every Sunday.
All right.
Him and Pastor Janice, yeah.
Wonderful, wonderful. So for anyone who wants to come and visit and partake in service, where is the church located?
Unity Fellowship Church New Ark is in Newark, New Jersey. And we have service right now at Trinity St. Philip's, which is downtown in the shadow of NJ-PAC. And we have service at 1:30.
Okay.
So if they want to find us, just go to Unity Fellowship Church, New Ark.
Okay, wonderful. And we must mention that you are also a teacher.
Yes.
And have been for quite some time at Newark, New Jersey Student Center.
Yes.
So what is it that you're teaching there?
Performing art.
Okay.
I work with Susu Stewart in a program called Mic It Up, and we teach them how to perform, how to be on stage, maybe how to pick their music, doing different types of music. And we have some amazing kids.
What age are these?
High school.
High school.
We have high school. And I think we just started 8th grade. You know, so we're doing 8th through 12th grade. Okay. And they graduate, they go on into music or they go into something else, but they have had a full, rounded education in performing arts.
Okay. So you're passing on those decades of wisdom and experience and skill and knowledge that for you started at home in the living room, surrounded by your family and all those fabulous musicians from Detroit.
Oh, yes.
So the kids in Newark are benefiting from that right now.
Yes.
Fantastic.
Definitely.
Mickey, I know you've got a couple of shows coming up, and the Devil's Music, the Life and Blues of Bessie Smith, is going to be happening very soon. Please tell us.
September 21st, we're doing a fundraiser for the Penguin Theater, which is where the show originated, and that's going to be at the Rockland Community College, right off of 287. Okay. October 18th, we open at People's Light and Theater Company in Malvern, Pennsylvania, and that's peopleslight.org to get more information.
All right.
And then February, we open at Merrimack Theater in Lowell, Massachusetts.
Nice.
And I do believe that was mrt.org for information.
I think you're correct on that. Yes, Merrimack Theater in Lowell, Massachusetts.
Yes.
Fantastic. And how long will you be running there?
Merrimack is only 3 weeks, 3 to 4 weeks, and then People's Light is going to be about 6 or 7.
Okay, fantastic. Are you going to be touring anytime soon?
Well, if James Carter calls me up, you know, I got to go.
Well, yeah. I hear that. I hear that. The two of you on stage together, just spectacular. I mean, that was the other great part of experiencing you in Detroit was one, seeing the play, and then two, seeing you and James Carter go at it on stage.
Well, we call each other twin.
Okay, all right. I can see that. I can see the energies, you know, are really complementary, and certainly the musical talent.
Well, I've known him since he was 15, and he was playing that amazing at 15.
Wow.
You know, I used to fuss at him a lot, but he always said, whenever I do a recording, when I get famous, I'm going to call you.
All right,
and he
did.
made good.
And he
I'm
did.
on 2 of his recordings.
That's right. Fantastic. You know, and as a producer, I can say that I would love to be able to produce you and James together and find a stage where we can just let all of that, all you do what you do
thank you
very,
so much.
very well. Because you've sung and played with the best of them. I mean, Lionel Hampton, Regina Carter, Mint Hinton, you know, just so you have an extraordinary gift, and we appreciate you for it, and certainly are welcome more and more of it as much as you want to give.
Thank you. I will give it as long as you take it.
Okay. So thank you very much for being with us today, Miche, and we hope to have you back another time when you have even more to share with us about the music and the journey that you're continuing.
Well, thank you very much, Jewel.
Okay. And we thank you for being with us today. This is Avitar Face to Face, and we've had the pleasure of having Miche Braden right here on the show. And be sure to check her out. You gotta, if you don't remember the websites, Google Miche Braden and Google The Devil's Music, The Life and Blues of Bessie Smith. You will find it. It's happening somewhere really soon, October, and certainly early next year. Thank you very much. We hope to see you again next time on Avitar Face to Face. I'm Jewel Kinch-Thomas. Have a great week.